I want to welcome you to another episode of Beyond the Surface Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Wanda J. Evans-Brewer. And today I want to speak about leaving the Western standard of beauty in the West. Leaving the Western standard of beauty in the West. This podcast was inspired by reading a post from a Black woman who is a heavy hitter financially, who had the wherewithal to move her entire family to the African continent. She selected Ghana. She has a home. She's building here. And everybody that returns to the continent loses weight. Most of us who have visited are well aware of that you begin to get your health back because things are organic. You have that sun. You don't have access to genetically modified food. And and there's a lot of fish. This is a country that's full of pescatarians and low pork, low beef eating. So, and almost no dairy. So we see a tremendous weight loss coming from the West. So I saw where she posted and she said, the more weight loss you lose, you do begin to look like you have testicles on your neck. Or I could have said you look like you have a turkey neck, but the first one is funnier. So this completely disturbed me. I've never heard a Black woman refer to anything on her body, whether it's breasts or whatever, as looking like testicles. I said, of all ways to describe herself, to call her neck testicles and prefer the term testicle over turkey neck. And I can tell you, looking at the picture, that actually neither are true. This is a middle-aged woman. And as you go into your middle age, you begin to face some of the changes with your body. Even if you're beautiful, you still see what life is dealing you. So there's a little bit of puffiness here or a sag there. For those who get wrinkles, you see lines come in. You may have a jowl here and there, but this is all telling a story about your life. So I looked at her describe herself that way, and I decided to respond to it. I don't really get off into a lot of that, but it just perturbed me. I said, this woman is in Africa, where the standard of beauty is just so different. Where is she getting this from? So I said, I don't see what you see, and I don't know the look you're referencing. I actually think you're too harsh on yourself. I see a woman who got started without putting her extra polish. Whatever that is for you. For me, it would be my eyeliner and nude lip gloss. Overall, your weight loss has improved your health and your appearance. She never touched it. And immediately after I said that, another woman, another Black woman, another melanated woman, these people that like to reference themselves as queens, comes on behind me and says, I too have a testicle neck, sis. Mine actually hangs down. All this time I've been calling it a turkey neck. I prefer your name. I appreciate you for this. So this is what you want to appreciate another Black woman for. It's for having a neck that is comparable to a man's testes. I mean, the self-hate that we deal with in the U.S. is ingrained in us. Because European culture picked at us. Your nose is too big, you're too black, your butt too big, you're too thick, your weight is too high. There's a lot that white Anglo-Saxon Protestants expected an African frame to be like. The constant attacks on our hair. We go to court about our hair to be able to have natural hair. And now it's to the point they've convinced us that natural hair is bad hair and ugly hair and wrong hair. And so we're buying other people's hair and gluing it onto our hair and losing our actual hair lines. We have so many Black women. As beautiful as Naomi Campbell is, and she's an amazing model, she is suffering from alopecia. Her hairline is back like Bozo. She is, and she has just begun to really publicly talk about it, because some of the time she'll be, off off-site, and they'll take some pictures. Paparazzi get some pictures of her, and the wind blows or she goes swimming, and that weave will blow back, and you'll see that hair is missing. Okay, so there's just a lot of physical penalty. Now butts are in. When I was coming up, butts were not in, and so women were always restricting with girdles, and it was terrible to have a big butt, and you were scrunching a big butt. And the last thing on God's green earth you wanted was a big butt. And of course, the common physical structure for an African woman is a larger bottom. Okay, even if she's linear, even if she's lean, she's larger there. All of these things. And so here you come to Africa. And you see that a big chunk of the women, even though they give these romanticized pictures of African women, with the calabash on top of their head, and they're looking all, salacious and sexy. The average woman is when she's fetching water or cooking, she looks rough. She looks like our women looked when they're in the kitchen. Like, this is not a time to be dressed up. You're not in Sunday's best. But when an African woman does clean up, oh, she is dashing, and nobody can say anything about African fashion. If you just look at, I'm just going to take the two biggest West African countries I know that in terms of fashion, Ghana and Nigeria, they don't play. They do not play. The women look absolutely stunning. And you see in Ghana, you see interesting things where people take a type of string and tie the hair where they'll tie it where you have 4 braids up and it's sticking straight up and bring them together, and people think you look beautiful. You see the Afro puff, you see the corn roll, you see really, really complicated patterns with braids. Of course, you see locks, you see wigs, you see weave. Like, you can do all kinds of fashion things with your hair. If I had one complaint, it's bleaching, but it's kind of heavier in Nigeria than what I'm seeing in Ghana. But there's just a complete acceptance of the variety of looks based off of not only being African, but coming from these different tribal backgrounds where different looks appeal. Everything from markings to the restriction or the addition of beads or how you wear your cloth. So I've never heard a woman here refer to her neck as looking like testicles. I actually don't hear women here even talk about their faces or talk about their necks or what's happening with their stomachs or what's happening with their breasts. This is not a common dialogue. And, people who follow my show, who know me, know I do village life. I do township life. I do average woman life. I don't see and hear that. And so I said, why is she bringing that mindset over here? You're losing weight, ma'am. You're getting your health back. She said her weight hasn't been this low since junior high, okay? She's gotten her weight to that level. Her shape looks really, really good. It's nice and clean for her body frame, not for mine, not for yours. I'm confident those numbers are good. That cholesterol, that blood pressure, the diabetes, if that was something that was a challenge, I'm confident she's reversed a bunch of it because she's lost a tremendous amount of weight. I would have to say at least a clean 70 pounds. And so with something that in the U.S., you could have slim fast and jog every day and you would be moving the same 5 or 6 pounds back and forth because everything is so non-natural based that the weight just don't move. And so instead of celebrating this new frame, this refreshed you, this woman is over here with this mindset of her neck looking like testicles. Looking like testicles. And I don't even hear white women say their necks look like testicles. Leave the Western mindset in the West. Begin to look at the various images of African women and find yourself in there someplace. A look that appeals to you, that fits your style. And if you can't find it, I'm into breaking the rules and rebuilding it. Then you come up with one. But it cannot be associated with the testicles of a man. Ever. And know that words have power. Don't say certain things about yourself. You live there. You live there. That spirit, that soul lives there. Why would you speak so ill of yourself? How does that bring you closer to God? And maybe that's not the end goal, but these are my thoughts about it. Well, this is a bit of a personal rant. I love my blackness. I love my womanhood. I've accepted that part of living requires change, and some of it I prepared for, and some of it I have not, but this is me. This is me. I'm not the same as I was when I was 10, when I was 15, 25, 45, 50. I'm not. And I won't be the same if God gives me longevity when I'm 90. But I'm here, and I'm beautiful, and I'm worthy. You've been listening to Beyond the Surface Radio, and I'm your host, Dr. Wanda J. Evans-Brewer. And until we meet again, be safe in God's grace.